Joe Biden is the most anti-Judeo-Christian president we've ever had in the Oval Office. You might say Obama, but Biden has affirmatively stomped all over the moral beliefs and the conscious beliefs of somebody's soul, their being, than any president I can think of. So the question is, in the minds of many people, particularly conservatives who are Jewish like me, will in fact there be not necessarily an earthquake of a realignment, but enough Jewish voters who recognize what a danger Joe Biden, the Democrat Party, the Marxists and the Islamists in the Democrat Party, the Bernie Sanders, the Omars, the Talibs, the AOCs, their ilk, what they are to the Jewish people and America, really one and the same. But also Blinken, who is a Soros sycophant and a special pleader for Iran. Despite what anybody says, the evidence is in front of you. It's in front of everybody. Iran has been funding, in part, we've now learned from the head of the CIA, the protests, that is, the violent Hitler Youth, the fusion of the Marxists and the Islamists. Hamas has been, Qatar has been, Communist China has been, and, not surprisingly, major billionaire Democrat donors have been funding that same element. Will that matter? Will it matter to at least enough Jewish voters? Will they come over and vote with Jewish people like me, or vote with conservatives, vote for Donald Trump, or stay out of it altogether? That would be better than voting for Biden, trust me. So I just wanted you to take a little look at this short clip from Jexit, which is Jews exiting the Democrat Party, and see what you think. Go.
Most recently became the Midwest director for Jexit, which is Jews exiting the Democrat Party. You're an immigrant to this country just like myself. You and I see things from a similar lens. Never in a million years did I think that I would see what I'm seeing now when it comes to all of the Jew hatred, the support for jihad. You know, are the Democrat Jews getting the memo that the Democrat Party they've known for years is not the same party? I mean, it's almost like a religion to them. They're just like, they're stuck, and a lot of them just can't, like, even after October 7th, I'm like, what is it going to take?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Jews that have voted traditionally Democratic are kind of in an existential crisis. You know, their moms, their dads, their bubbies, their zadies, their families have historically voted Democrat, and they're like in an existential crisis. October 7th happened. They waited for the cavalry from the Democratic Party to come in and save them and make things right, and then it never came. And worse, they were completely abandoned by their party because the Democratic Party is now hijacked by socialists.
It's hijacked by Marxists and Islamists, but she's right generally. We shall see. So just so you know, this is actively being discussed within parts of the Jewish community. And I've said it before. I've said it early on. President Trump has said it. If you're Jewish and you vote Democrat, you obviously have a suicide mission in your mind, because there's no other explanation for it. I mean, the explanation that's there is one my wife has told me over the years, which is for secular Jews, that is, Jews who go through the motions effectively, mostly ethnic Jews, not really religious Jews. And again, you have them in other religions as well, so it's not unique. The Democrat Party is their God. And liberalism, broadly defined, is their ideology. In other words, that's the religion. It is the religion, beyond everything else. And so it's hard to turn somebody like that, whether they be Jewish or Gentile, because they're fanatics. And fanatics are very, very difficult to cope with, to persuade, and so forth. But let's hope there's enough who are not fanatics. And I would say this about Catholics, too. I can't think of a more anti-Catholic president than Joe Biden, forcing Catholic hospitals to perform abortions on demand. That's what they're trying to do. Funded by the taxpayers or funded by the hospital. Trying to force doctors, many of whom, based on their faith and their conscience, do not want to perform abortions, whether they be Catholics or anybody else. They're trying to compel them to perform them anyway. Let me put it to you broadly. Joe Biden is the most anti-Judeo-Christian president we've ever had in the Oval Office. You might say Obama, but Biden has affirmatively stomped all over the moral beliefs and the conscious beliefs of somebody's soul, their being, than any president I can think of.
For more, sign up for Levin TV.